Hey everyone. Thank you for logging in here. It's 1 o'clock here, it's 3 o'clock with my friend in Wisconsin. And I'm going to have my special friend come on here today. And we're going to. So many people have been asking me, Molly, what is it that you're up to? What is this healing that you're doing? What's going on with the emotion code? And what are heart walls and why do I need them? I could tell you my story, and that's only my story. That's only my perspective. But the craziest thing is that when you start a journey like this, you you talk to those people that are closest to you, the people that you can tell your hopes and dreams, your fears, your secrets to, and in the hopes that they will understand and support you. But in a journey this big, it's normally the people closest to you that join you as well. And so I'm going to bring on my friend Jamie, and I'm going to let you hear her side of the story, what it is that emotion code and what it is that Heart Walls has done for her, because all of our journeys, all of our experiences are completely different. So, with hello,
How are you?
I'm amazing. How are you, y'all? This is my friend Jamie Barke. Jamie, where are you at right now?
Green Bay, Wisconsin.
I love it. So, for anybody who's watching right now, if you're not catching this right from the beginning, please do hashtag replay for us, okay? Comment, let us know where you are watching in from because this is the craziest thing that it spreads so far and wide. So many people are being touched and changed and transformed by what is going on. Jamie and I being as close as we are, she's in Wisconsin. I'm here in Las Vegas, Nevada. My name's Molly Kaiser. And we are still as close, as thick as thieves as we could possibly be. Um, Jamie, go ahead and tell me a little bit so people understand our friendship, our relationship. I want you to go ahead and let everybody know, like, who are we to each other? How did it become Molly and Jamie together as friends?
Yeah, that is quite the journey in itself. We had known each other through the company that we had or are working for, but it was we were kind of at a distance from each other. Like, I really admired you because you were an incredible speaker. You always spoke just so amazing. And I was like, gosh, that's so incredible. If I could just be like Molly, man, that would be amazing. And I was always like, yay, Molly. And we would get on calls together and it was really good, but it was still at that distance that we were at. And it wasn't until you started your journey because you had gone through something. I had reached out to you, and then you had started your journey in this whole heart wall thing, and you reached out to me. And
That's so crazy to me because it's like, oh, I looked up to you. You were a great speaker. Here's the thing, like in the company that we were in, which is Lavelle and Thrive, like you you paved the way for me. Like you'd already been there for a year and we shared so many of the same friends and I was like, wow, Jamie is powerful. She is a boss babe. She is, you know, drive and passion and you say what you mean and you mean what you say and I had so much passion for you, you know, because I just saw you as where I wanted to strive to be. I saw parts of you that I loved. I was able to take parts from who I was and who I thought you were and kind of match that. So it's so funny, like us knowing now that we were on the same boat, you know, we just didn't know that we're sharing the path, right? So,
yeah, yeah, exactly. And when you reached out to me, here's the thing is, I,
so you got to tell them that. Okay, so here's the
yeah,
thing, like I find emotion code, right? Jamie is like my business partner friend. We have two completely separate teams, but we have similar leaders in our organization above us. So we had, and these leaders are our friends. These aren't, you know, people that we don't know. These are people in our life that kind of brought another aspect of working and grinding and personal growth to us. So we share similar friends, but don't necessarily cross the same paths. And so us being friends, and I mean friends like we're Facebook friends, we're
yeah,
colleagues, we're sort of collaborators, but not really. Um, I go through my emotion code journey, my heart wall journey, and like, of course, I reach out to my two best friends, but there's another person that is on my heart and on my mind, and I'm like, Jamie, I've never reached out to Jamie. Jamie is strong. Jamie is forward. She is passionate. She knows who she is. And I'm like, Jamie needs this. Like, I just have this on my brain. Like, I have to call Jamie and tell Jamie about this, but I've never shared depths of my hopes and fears with Jamie ever. So like to share that with you, I remember thinking, oh my gosh, and it was days. And like your mind was like your brain, your thought was on my brain, my mind. I was just like, she needs this. She has to know about this. I have to tell her. And it killed me. But of course I couldn't call you because texting, we text all the time, but call you not so much. And I had to see your face. I had to know, like, do you hear me? Do you understand? So FaceTime, and I FaceTime you. Go ahead. Okay, what happens?
Well, the thing is you reached out to me, and I thought that was so sweet for you to reach out to me, to think of me in this journey that you were on. And I don't think this is crazy. Like, I was like, okay, I trust Molly. Like, intuitively, I trust you. So if you're going to bring something to me, like, yeah, tell me about it. Sure, absolutely. I'm 100% open to it. And then you, we had FaceTime, and that was the first time we had FaceTime. And it was just like Molly and Jamie, but not Molly and Jamie, as we know, like we used to know each other, right? Like it was.
So I know why I was comfortable reaching out to you. For anyone who doesn't know and you haven't like followed my story up until now, if you are new coming to me, I have always kind of been like loud and proud, like kind of socialite in the crowd, but that's not like my true sense. I'm more of like close friends, patio life, like at home, like I'm not like out there in the biz. But Jamie reached out to me in this year. I went through a year-long depression where I didn't know who I was and I was very lost. So Jamie, and it was probably random on your part, I'm sure. You reached out and it was twice and you said, Molly, are you okay? Like, what's going on? I haven't seen you. I miss you. And at first I was like, oh, totally okay, just really great. And then the second time you were like, I just want to make sure that you're okay. And I could sense like that it wasn't like, oh, what the heck, have you dropped off the planet? Like, is your business not doing well? Is life not doing well? Like, I felt like you were really thinking of me, like me, just as like a soul wandering on this planet. And I remember like I was so emotional when you sent me that message because I didn't know how to tell you, like, I'm hurting, I'm lost, I'm wandering, and I'm depressed because that was not something that strong, passionate women and boss babes talk about. That's not something that you dive
Mhm.
into. You have to be strong for so many people. And you sending that message to me, and I remember telling you, I am so depressed, I don't know how to function. And you said, you should not be alone, you need to call me. And I was like, I wouldn't even talk to my best friends. My best friends would sit there and just watch me just wither away in just sadness, and I had no words for them, and they were helpless to help me. But when I was out of it, all I could think was, I have the words. I have the words. I have something that could help other people. And I reached out to you and I was just like, Jamie, dude, I'm okay. I remember telling you, I'm okay. I'm better than okay. Oh my God, I found the way. Like I found
Mhm.
my light. And so, hello, FaceTime. And and here's Jamie. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Love you. Don't know if I love this. But you were like, tell me more.
Yeah.
I'm listening because you are open. You have your beliefs and you have your structure, but they're not solid. Like you are open to the possibility of, I wonder what it is that I don't know, or I wonder what I can learn. Like you're an open person like that. So
Yeah, and
FaceTime.
that's what really intrigued me about what you were showing me is there we walk around our whole entire life with all these impressions that have come onto us or we put on ourselves or we've seen whatever. And we're sitting in this muck. So it was a different modality that I was normally not used to, right? So I started looking into it and it was very intriguing. And you were like, you just should make it, an appointment because it's free the first time just to see what it is. And I was like, yeah, okay, I will appease you. I will hop on that free little Zoom thing and I'll see what this hoopla is about. And I came to my first session sorta open, but not. I was very skeptical, right? I was skeptical about a person not being right next to me and working in my energy space. So I was probably a little closed off. But when the energy work started healing, the first thing that was pulled out of me, I instantly had tears. And I was like, it's just because I was having an emotional day, something, whatever. Because my past is my brother had committed suicide, and that was so heavy on me still, and that's something that weighed on me, and that was pulled out of me. And I was like, okay, that sounds great. It from a distance, it sounds great. So my first session, it was my free session. I came just to see what it was about, but I came 100% skeptical, but I came with knowing that I wanted to be healed. I was sick of walking around every single day living in my past, but I had healed so much, and I was like, okay, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. So that's kind of how I felt is the first session. Mind you, okay, you go on. That's how I came to that first session. It was like the free session, like, yay, good luck, bye. That's
Yeah.
how the first session, like, I was skeptical. I was 100% skeptical, but it was free. Why not?
I think everyone honestly should be skeptical in life. I think that everybody needs to be kind of like an ounce of caution, but I think where magic comes into life, where opportunities present themselves, is when you are skeptical but yet curious. I think when
Mm-hmm.
you are not curious, when you have your mind like so set in stone, when you make up this notion of this is exactly where it's going to be, there's no room. There's no room to be surprised pleasantly. There's no room to learn something new when you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, like, especially as I get older, I am more open to the fact that I don't know. Like, even when people ask me questions, I think there's more power in saying, I don't know. I'm not positive. I do believe, but is that open to interpretation? Of course, always. That's how I've found like most of my stuff is I don't know about things. And when you shut your mouth and you use your two ears and you listen to the things that are going on around you, you have just that curiosity of, the Buddhist monk, or you have the curiosity of the small child that's like, but why, but why, but why, then you learn more. So
But I think
totally.
a lot about it is there's people that walk around day in and day out, and they're fighting this battle inside themselves about their past or their future, not living in the present moment, but they want something different. They want to change. But how do they do it? And the natural thing for us as Americans is go see a therapist, go see a counselor. And here's the thing is I have done that. And I've spent time at counselors, therapists, like all that jazz. And
So,
that
like,
never
just as like a
helped.
side note for anybody who doesn't know, like, we're talking about emotion code and heart walls. These are energetic things, emotional baggage that's going on within us. So, when we are talking about, what we're talking about right now is we're not talking about a business opportunity. We're talking about personal healing, personal growth. We're talking about the thing that you use to get over the hump, the thing that gets you
Mm-hmm.
up to the top of the hill so that you can slide down the other side. So, we're talking about a form of energy healing that we found to make our lives better, to make our communication of love stronger, to make our immune system and energy go up just by focusing inside and working on emotional baggage. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
heart walls, energetic heart walls, these barriers that we have built around our heart from traumatic things that have happened in our lives, or times that we have been hurt, or times that we have been defensive, or anything that has happened where you feel that pain in your chest, you feel that discomfort, that lump in your throat where you're like, this emotional moment is hard for me. So you feel as though you have to place a shield around your heart. And energetically, what we have found through this type of healing is that you do have a way to numb yourself through life, and it gets you through the moment. When you are at war, that is amazing to be able to put armor on, but when the war is over and you walk away, it's leaving you feeling numb, feeling empty. If you're in a bomb shelter and this bomb shelter leaves you, you can't hear the excitement and joy that's going on. You can't tell if the war is over. You can't hear when somebody's saying, I love you, I want to hang out, I want you to, you just kind of like dumb yourself down where you have this brain fog. You don't have clarity of where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing or what the purpose is or what the point is of each day. And you just kind of start to withdraw. That's just like the damage of emotional baggage where you have this backpack full of it starts out empty and then you start to fill it with these bricks of emotions, this heartache and sorrow and this my efforts unreceived and anger and shame, like these things that you put in your backpack, and then you put it on, and like Apollo, you carry the weight of the world around. You carry the weight of these emotions and of this pain on your shoulders, and you feel it physically, you feel it
Mm-hmm.
emotionally. It's almost like you can't really get a handle. You feel like life is could be better, but you don't know how. Like that's a whisper of fate on the air, you know? So when you're talking about, all of us have sought help in some point of time. We've gone to a doctor and we've been like, I feel tired, I feel overweight, I feel blah, I'm sick all the time, this pain, this hurt, and or you go to a psychotherapist or you go to a counselor or you go to a pastor and you say, but this pain and this emotion and this hurt and I'm down. You know that you're down because it feels heavy. Life doesn't feel light anymore. These are all warning signs of what is going on. And I mean, you being a strong woman and being out there, and Jamie being like, yes, I know that I need more than me. I know that I need more than something. Being a seeker of knowledge like you are, like I am, you want to know, like, what is it? What more can I do for me? I mean, that in itself is self-love. Like
Mm-hmm.
being able to love yourself and take care of yourself before taking care of others, because so often you'll drown. You'll drown if you swim against the current with somebody
Well, a
else.
lot of times, well, especially women, is we live in this family comes first. Your kids come first, your husband, your job, taking care of the house, doing this. You're always last. We always think of ourselves last. And when you start doing clearing your heart wall or your heart walls and doing the emotion code stuff, it helps out your family. Because you're taking care of yourself, you're helping those emotions like come up again, acknowledge them, and then poof, they go, wherever they go. But you're also helping out your family because that load on yourself is getting lighter and lighter, and you're living a more joyful life. You're sleeping, you're, doing all these incredible things. But what happens when they take it from your family members and that inherited stuff? Like it's just
Yeah.
insane,
So
so.
so you do your first session, right? And
Mhm.
and you went into it skeptic. Did you walk out skeptic? Like what was the first session? What was, because this takes more sessions. It takes anywhere when you're
Yes.
removing heart walls, when you're removing your emotional baggage and the armor that you've put around your heart that numbs you from life's blessings. It's not done in a day. You didn't build these walls. You didn't build this fortress around yourself to protect yourself in a day. Like this is a lifetime's worth of stuff, and
Mhm.
and it takes anywhere between 2 and 6 sessions to remove the fog, to be able to achieve clarity. So you
So
obviously
I,
went through more than one session. So
yeah.
how do you return to the next one? What did you get from the first one?
So here's the thing is I was skeptic the first time. I booked my first paid session. I was still skeptical. I booked my second paid session, still skeptical. I booked my third um, session. And after that session, and I don't want to say just these things started happening that I could not explain, that these things were happening things were
So
changing inside of
you
me. You
had a
can't.
free session where you're intrigued, right? You're intrigued.
Hmm.
Is it just intrigued because you're like, oh yeah, that's mine, I own it. Like, yeah, that's my pile of poo that I stored away. I see that. But girl, what makes you go to a second session and go, all right, I'm in, second session. Let's see what you got. How do you get to that point? There had to have been something, something.
But the thing is you can't put it into words, because here's the thing is I'm always open to healing. I always want to be a student out in the world. And it was just something inside of me that said, okay, do the next one. And if it's easy and things don't come up, and if you don't have to cancel, and if you don't have to work around anybody's schedule, if it's just easy, it's just meant to be. I didn't overthink it. So I did a session at a time. Like, I didn't pay up all at one time. I'm not about commitments. I'm not about signing contracts. I'm just going to go session by session and see what happens. The thing is people are like, what was it? Or why did you keep going? I just listened to the voice inside of me that said, keep going. And it wasn't hard to keep going, and nothing got in the way of me by keep going. Like, if something would have happened where I had to like cancel something, or our schedules didn't work out.
This is so crazy because talk about like polar opposites. I understand what you're saying, like where you're like, I shut the program off, that's my brain, and I felt it with my heart. I try and live life like that now because I know that when I go with what I feel rather than what I think or what I think other people think or what I think is like when I think, there's no room for magic. There's no room for growth because at that
Mm-hmm.
point I have a plan, I'm steering, and I can't enjoy the present moment. So, but here's something where it's completely different for me. Nothing lined up. Like life was in my way. And I know why, like after the fact, why it was in my way. I had literally energies in place that didn't want me to succeed.
Mm-hmm.
Like there are such a thing as light versus dark, and sometimes dark doesn't want you to spread the message. Dark doesn't
Mm-hmm.
want you to go for it. It doesn't want you to make it because when you are, especially when you're depressed, and you weren't depressed, like you were trying to find your way. You had
Mm-hmm.
roadblocks, but you were still trying to find your way. You have always been a beacon of light. I got trapped in the tunnel. I got like the caved in. There was no way out, and we were running out of air. So I was hit by this is not right. This is not right. This is not right. This is not right. But I felt what I needed to do. Like
Mm.
if I thought about what other people will think, if I thought about, uh, money spent without having a tangible object in my hand, if I thought that my personal growth or my self-love wasn't worth it, then I would have
Yeah.
never.
Yeah. And here's the thing is when my third session was done, I booked my fourth session. And in that fourth session, my heart wall was cleared, right? And here's the amazing, profound, crazy thing that happened. And I didn't have any earth-shaking moments during those first four plus my free one. So that's 5 sessions. I didn't have anything that was like, oh my gosh, like moon crashes into, a different planet. Like nothing like that. It was just little things. But after my fourth session, um, I was talking with my other healer because I have many, many teachers in my life. And she said, how about you reach out to your uncle and starting getting to know your dad's side of the family? Because my dad died when I was really young. And I was like, yeah, I probably should. I probably should know the other side of who I am. So I reached out to my uncle. We got together right away. And normally, before I go and meet a person, I think, what are they going to think of me? Are they going to think that I'm smart enough? Are they going to think that, I'm a good person? I hope they love me. And like, I would overthink it, right? I would have all these things play out. And I went and I met him. And before I met him, I was nervous because I never sat down and talked with my uncle. I never, my whole entire life, I never sat down and talked with my uncle. And I met him, and that was after my heart wall was cleared. And it was such an easy conversation. It was so flowy. I didn't overthink it. I didn't stumble on my words. I wasn't in my head. It was 100% from my heart. Because before then, I would always get tripped up because I had that block in front of my heart. Like, okay, you can only go so far. And then there's that wall there. But once that wall got removed, I finally got to live my life from my heart space. And I never did that for 36 years. I was like, I built up a wall of concrete in front of my heart because so many things had happened in my life. And once that wall was removed, you look at life a little differently, but it feels like you're walking around with just love. But things are going to happen, right? They're still going to happen. You're still going to have life. You're still going to have issues. But when you have your heart wall removed, you're doing life all over again from a different space, if that makes sense. Does that make sense?
That totally makes sense. So you go through these heart walls. So tell me, like, short answer, because I know what it's like to be on so much side of like depth, like where you suddenly feel like you're deeper, you're more. There's more to you than visibly. It's more to you than what other people think of you. It's more to you than your job and your family and your day-to-day grind. But what have you gained since removing all of your heart walls? You're heart wall free now. What have you gained? Short answers.
Short answers. What have I gained? I've gained more tools in my toolbox, and I'm understanding out who I truly am without the noise. Because there was so much noise in those emotions that were buried deep inside of me because I wasn't one to like ever talk about my emotions. I was just either really sad or really angry. Like there was no in between. So it's like the baggage is gone. Like that weight that you put on your back and walked around with the world, it's like it's not on your back anymore. It's not weighing you down. The past of shaming and hurt and, being very sad and being a child of poverty and, in a family of, addiction is not on my back anymore. It's freeing. Like you can't explain what happens energetically once you prepare yourself. Like I am seriously ready to heal. Like I am sick of walking around with this backpack. I am here to heal. And the thing is your journey to healing, like for you, I know like you had stuff removed and stuff started piling up and you're like, whoa, well, that shows you, what you have to walk through. That shows you, for the people that are skeptical, the thing is like, I was a person that walked into this having many teachers in my life. And teachers come in many different forms, and I have learned incredible things. But if I wasn't ready and open for a healing, I was never going to go through this journey.
So
You
you
know,
had to be curious and skeptic.
but you have to sit and be like, it's time. It's time to change my future and let go of the past. And the things that you have buried inside you would be shocking that little things like started piling on you that happened to you before you were even born.
Yeah.
That happened inheritedly. It's pretty magical, but that's why I tell people like if I can do this and still be skeptical and walk through this journey, like y'all, that's pretty
So
incredible.
here's the thing is what what would you say to the person out there that is looking for help, that feels like they're kind of like drowning in the day to day? What would you say to them, especially if they're like wondering, is this it? To take that step into their own journey.
So us as humans, we overthink everything. Is this the way to go? Is it worth it? Is it this? Is it A, B, C, D, F, G? What is my husband going to say? What is my wife going to say? If it feels right in your gut, there's no question you should do it. Like, not a question at all. This would never come into your space. No one would watch this live or watch, on YouTube if it didn't come into your space for a reason. Don't overthink it. Always trust your gut.
Yeah.
That's it.
If you follow your heart leads you to amazing things. It's
Mm-hmm.
when you're going from what you think other people think or what you think that, yeah, totally. That's amazing. That's amazing. Okay, so again, I love short answers. Let's go into short answers here, just because I want to pick your brain, like who you are.
Okay.
Um, what is healing to you?
Freedom.
Freedom. Yeah. Is it hard?
Yes.
Is it worth it?
You've asked this of me before.
Mm-hmm.
It is 110% worth it. You are a different person on the other side of that mountain. 100% worth it. But it
Yeah.
hurts like hell, but it's so worth it.
Yeah. I mean, I would go through the depression all over again to find this on the other side of finding me. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you come into this world absolutely perfect. You are perfect when you come in here, and then you decide that you're unworthy, or that you deserve this guilt, or that you deserve this shame or anger or pain or sorrow or despair, or undecisiveness, or like whatever it is, you put that weight on you. You didn't come
Mm-hmm.
with that. You would never talk to your 3-year-old self and be like, you are guilty and shameful and you are angry and you carry this because it's heavy. No, no one would ever say that to you. So why do you say that to you now? Like,
Mm-hmm.
100%, like, awesome. Awesome. Okay, so this is just like healing. Jamie, what is what is self-love, and what is your thing that you do for your own self-love? And people think that self-love is selfish, and I mean, I know that you and I do not believe that, but what is your self-love, and what is your thing that you do?
I self love. I think the greatest gift that we can give to anyone and to ourselves is finding out who we are, because we all came here for a purpose. We all have a light inside of us that needs to be shown to others. And what do I do for self love? I find out who I am every single day, and I help out. I listen to my gut. I reach out to people. My self love, because of what I've been through in my life, a lot of my self love is reaching out to people that I feel just need a hey, how are you? You can't be alone right now. And letting the other people know that there's other people out there, that they're not in a hole by themselves, that they should never feel that they're by themselves. I think a lot of my self love is a reflection of other people that I'm able to turn on their lights because of my healing. Does that
Yeah.
make sense?
Yeah. I mean, 100%. I think people very much think that, and I thought this of you, you thought this of me. That girl has it together.
Mm-hmm.
That girl has it made. I could be like that girl. But the thing is you were already that girl. I was already that girl. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And what we didn't see is that our voice, our light was so bright that together we amplify each other. Not, I want to be a copy of you or you want to be a copy of me.
Yeah.
I mean, when we're together, it's explosive. It's fun. It's amazing. It's intriguing. I totally, with everything that you said, I empathize with everything that you said. And again, being skeptic and being curious about who you are. I mean, not just other people, skeptic about this and skeptic about that person, curious about this and curious about that person, being skeptic and curious about who you think you are
Yeah.
is the most amazing way to find yourself. That bit of self-love, that bit
Yeah.
of knowing that you don't know, but you
The thing
will.
is like when you look in the mirror, and it's the hardest thing for people to do is look at the mirror and look at themselves in, their eyes. You can only do one eye at a time because you can't look at both. But when you look at yourself and you're like, I love you, what comes out of you? Like, does hurt, does shame? I can't look at myself. Like what? When I look at myself in the mirror, I'm like, damn it, you're amazing. Because I'm finding about what's inside, like who I am, what makes me tick. That's the greatest thing that you could ever do is turning on your own damn light.
Yeah. I mean, before Heart Walls, my overall, and my friends will tell you, like, I would be like, I'm going through my period of self-loathing right now, and I would be like, guilty, 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 like till my fingers were pruny, I was drowning in guilt. And they're like, so you didn't go to that thing, so you didn't call that person back, so you slept in too late, so you are still wearing pajama pants at 5 o'clock at night, like it, I would feel guilty for everything. And I removed all those heart walls. And some of them were guilt and some of them were other things, but removing that, being on the other side is completely freeing. And here's the other thing that I tell myself now is before people told me, don't care about them. You just do you. You care about you. Don't let your walls down for another person. And that's not who I am. I love and I care.
Hmm.
And I'm willing to open up the floodgates, not knowing who you are, to let people in for what I think I may be able to help with, like your own journey, your own healing, everything else. And finally being okay with, no, I don't have to listen to other people's hurt tell me to be careful. I don't have to be careful. I will know if it's unsafe when I follow my heart. And that's huge. So, my last question for you, short answer.
Short answer.
Do you believe in coincidence?
Short answer. um, Nothing is a coincidence. Everything was set up. I could go in such depth right here. Everything was set up before you even came here. I don't believe in coincidences. I believe when things consider themselves as coincidences, you're on the right track in your life. So I don't call them
Breadcrumbs.
coincidence. It's just, yeah, I'm on the right track.
They're breadcrumbs.
Hmm.
I love that. Dude, you are my
Yes.
soul sister.
I
I
love
love
you.
you. I am so glad that without heart walls, like, I was able to like just reach out and be like, I want you in my life.
Hmm.
I know that I need you. You're a part of my journey. You're a part of my
But
life.
here's the thing is like we knew each other. Things happened how they happened for us to get close. Because
Pain.
had we known each other prior to everything that happened, it wasn't meant to be. Like it's all going how it's supposed to be because I was such a rough person. Even 6 months ago, I was rougher. And you were in a different spot in your life. And now we can come together with our hearts open and, us clapping and being stupid together. But it's freaking love, dude. It is seriously like 100% soul sisters on this incredible journey together. And I want people to know, first of all, when they talk with you, and I think everybody watching this should just run out and just book with you and eat up all your time except for the time for me. But because you are a person that brings the light to people in ways that I never got in my life from anybody, and which is really weird to say, but I never had a person look at me like the way you look at me. Like you see all of me and you're like, it's cool. Like I got my scars too. Like we're still here. And you love me on a different level, but I think you bring that healing portion with this emotion code healing. Like you are honestly wanting people to be better because of what you've been through yourself. Like you're just like superwoman, but without an actual cape on, is like you're saving people, honestly. And that's really an amazing thing. And people really need to just reach out to you because you are an awesome woman. And that's why I do love you, is because you have such a big heart to help out others.
Yeah, I love you. I love you without walls. I love you for you, not you for who the world said you had to be, not
Mm-hmm.
for who you thought you had to be. I love the girl that I can collaborate with and think tank with and dream big and be more than we were because
Mm-hmm.
together we're bigger, we're better, we're
Yes.
stronger.
Yeah.
I love you. Thank you so
I love
much for
you.
being on here with me. Um,
Yes.
Thank you, everyone who has taken the time to watch this. I know we're long-winded and I know we're deep, and that's who we are. We discuss ideas and hopes and fears instead of events and people and drama. So, for anyone who is wondering more, reach out. Questions are 100% open and awesome, and I do not mind sharing my hopes and my fears and my knowledge with you in the hopes that you find you and who you are. And if that is a motion code and that is removing your heart walls to get to the next level, I'm here. I will always be here. I'm not going anywhere. And I always say it's not in my time, it's in yours. And you will know when that time is when you stop thinking and start feeling what it is that you need. And every day I like to tell people to practice just a little bit of self love, whatever that thing is. If it's taking a walk, if it's reading the book, if it's sleeping a little longer, if it's calling the person that makes you feel good instead of the person that makes you feel guilty, take the time for you and the people you love. And if you like this message, please share it. If you haven't done hashtag replay to let me know that you're watching this and where you're from, I want to know how far the message reaches the world and if this added value. So thank you so much. I hope to talk to you again soon. By all means, when I shared this message with my friends and the people that I loved, it wasn't just one. So get ready for more because I have another friend that I drug along this journey with me and said, you have to know about emotion code. You have to experience what life is like, heart wall free, without having all the armors and shields and numbingness that we go through in life. So talk to you soon. Love you all. Bye.